Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. This is going to be a tutorial for this look right here. I am using a full face of Fenty Beauty, including the newest releases. I went to Sephora the day these products were launched and I picked up the Diamond Bomb Triple Drip All Over Diamond Veil palette. I also picked up the Balm Posse Mega Mix and Match eyeshadow palette. And then I also got the blotting powder. That's not new, but I just didn't have any Fenty powders. I also purchased the Gloss Bomb Heat in Fussy Heat. I love Fenty lip glosses, and the first shade that came out in this Heat, supposedly plumping formula, was a reddish color that just didn't really interest me. Now they've launched 3 more shades in the Heat formula, one of them being Fussy, the other one being Fenty Glow, and then I think the third is a brown called Hot Chocolate. So I went with Fussy, which is a light pink. I also picked up the under eye brightener. It's called Bright Fixed, and I got the shade Crepe 04. I am not going to be using the concealer today because I had it in the past and I didn't like it, so I really didn't see the point in buying it again. So I'm going to see if this will work as a concealer on its own. If not, I will add in a different concealer. The only other thing I am missing from Fenty is a brow pencil. I used to have that also. I don't know what happened to it. I remember just not liking it, so that's a reason why I didn't buy it again. I'm not on Fenty's PR list. This video is not sponsored, so I did have to go and purchase the things that I needed to sort of fill in any gaps. Fenty also does not make any lip pencils, so I'll be using a different brand for that. As of now, I have not tried any Fenty skincare. Let me know in the comments if you think I should, if there's anything that you love. So I did just prep my skin with a little Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, which is sort of my go-to. And now I'm using the Fenty Beauty Ease Drop Skin Tint. I really didn't think I was going to like this product because I am someone that prefers a little bit more coverage with the foundation, and I had heard this was very light coverage, light to medium. But then I saw another YouTuber raving about this, my friend Samantha March, and then I saw her in person and her skin just looked amazing, and she said that it was this product. So I used the shade 8. I'm shaking it up, and I like to use my Stands Out Beauty Sponge that I use for nearly every foundation ever. And then I'm just pressing it in. I love how natural looking this skin tint is. I actually haven't used this in a while. It's a really, really nice product. Look at how it gives me some decent coverage, but it's still extremely lightweight, and it works on my oily skin. That was another concern of mine, that a skin tint wouldn't work on someone as oily as myself. And I think this shade 8 is a really good match for me. It has just enough yellow in it to counteract the redness that I have, but it's not so yellow that it makes me look a little jaundiced. Some foundations do that. They make me look a little ill if they're too yellow. Now we're going to try that new under eye brightener, the Bright Fix, and see if it's enough or if I still need more coverage. I actually have not watched any videos on this or read any reviews, so I know this has been out for maybe a month or longer. I'm not sure. I just know it's not brand new, like as new as these are. So this is the packaging. It's interesting. I think I'm going to squeeze it onto my finger. It came out pretty quickly. Ooh, way too much. It came out really, really fast. So I think what I'll do is I'll move it over to the other side. Oh boy, way too much. Okay, I'm going to wipe some off on a tissue. And I'm going to go in with this sponge from e.l.f. and apply this all over. Ooh, okay, wow. That really did some nice brightening. I still feel like I've got quite a bit of darkness right through here, so I don't think this can be used on its own. I'm not even sure if it's supposed to be used on its own. It probably would have been helpful if I read up on it a little bit more. I'm so sorry. You'd think after all these years of doing YouTube, I would remember to do that. I was just so excited to try these products. My left under eye is darker than my right. So for my right eye, this is actually enough. It's just my left eye that gives me some problems. So I'm going to use a little bit of my new favorite concealer from Tom Ford. And I'm going to put this right here and then pat that in. There we go. That's a little better. Now I'm going to take this contour stick. I've been using this for a couple of years now. This is the Mocha Match Stick. It's one of my favorite products for contouring. And I just apply it here, a little bit on my forehead, down the sides of my nose, and then I take this brush from IT Cosmetics and I blend it out. All right, I am all contoured, and now I'm going to set the contour with the Fenty Island Ting Sunstalker Bronzer. And now to set my T-zone, I'm using the Invisimatte Blotting Powder. So many of you have been recommending this powder to me for so long because you know how oily I am, and I just could not give up my MAC blot powder. That's what I've been using for 10 plus years to blot shine. And then I also love my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush powder. So we'll see how this goes. This is what it looks like if you've not seen it before. And I think for this, I will use a BK Beauty 107. There is a brush that you can buy that is meant to work with this powder, but I just could not justify buying another brush when I have so many that can work for this. So let's see. Ooh, that's nice. I feel like it did wonders for my pores. This skin tint, as much as I do think it's very beautiful, it is also very natural, which, you know, is not a bad thing. We all have skin texture, we all have pores. But I can tell you that it doesn't smooth my pores. But, you know, some days I don't mind, especially if I'm in a hurry and I just want my face to look natural. You know, I have pores, so people will see them. But this has made a difference immediately. Wow. Okay, this will probably make it into my next products I wish I'd tried sooner video. Okay, so I mentioned that I do not have a Fenty brow pencil. I used to. It's around here somewhere, or maybe I threw it out because I do remember not liking it. So I'm gonna go do my brows off camera. I will list what I used below in the description box, and then we'll come back and we will start using this eyeshadow palette. Okay, my brows are done, and now I'm super excited to try this eyeshadow palette. Here is a closer look. So this is a limited edition snappable eyeshadow palette that includes 12 shades. I'm not sure what they mean by snappable. I'm looking at how to use. Prep lids with eye primer sold separately. I did not have that either, so I just used my primer from P. Louise. Apply shadows using any Fenty Beauty eyeshadow brush. I'm just using the brushes I have, but it doesn't say what it means by snappable. I do know the other Fenty eyeshadows snap together. So does this? No. Okay, I'm sure I'll figure it out or someone will let me know in the comments. I think I'm gonna use some tape for this look. My regular viewers know I just find using tape extremely helpful for my hooded, downturned eyes. And I'm just using regular Scotch tape. I put it on the back of my hand and then peel it off so that it's not too sticky on the delicate eye area. And I'm gonna start with the shade Nude Beach. And I'm gonna run that through my crease. It's a little bit sheerer than I expected, but it's not too bad. And as I always say, sheer eyeshadows, well, you don't want eyeshadows that are super sheer that you have to continue to build up and continue to build up. But my first impression is that this color, at least, has just the right amount of pigment for a transition shade, because for beginners, these types of shadows are a lot easier to work with. It's easier to add than to take away. A lot of people do struggle with blending, and if the eyeshadow is too pigmented and they're having to blend and blend and blend, they often will find themselves with a big just mess on their lids. It doesn't even look like they used more than one eyeshadow. I'm pretty sure a lot of you know what I'm talking about. So it's not always a bad thing for the shadows to be a little bit on the sheer side, or at least have some that are more sheer and some that are more pigmented. I'm now taking a flat brush and going into the shade Vanilla Cake. And I'm popping that underneath the brow. It's not really noticeable. I typically like something a little bit lighter under the brow. At least it's not chalky. It does feel smooth. Let's try these shimmers. I'm gonna swatch one and see if I need, ooh. Okay, like nothing is showing up when I swatch this. Barely anything. Ooh, I'm definitely gonna have to try these wet. Yeah, these are not high quality shimmers, in my opinion, based on first swatch impressions. No. My BH Cosmetics palettes have better shimmers than this. That's a bummer. I'm gonna try using one of them with a damp brush and see what happens. And I wanna try the shade Fenty Glow. That's definitely showing up at least, but it's very faint. It's not a bold shimmer, which again, some people might actually prefer. It's not my preference, but it's leaving more of a sheen on the lid versus a shimmer. It's so light. Meh. I am not wowed. Well, now that my lid's a little damp, I'm going to go back into that first shimmer I swatched, which is called Le Bronze. And I'm going to pop that on the center. Not impressed, Fenty. Not impressed. All right. We're going to keep playing here. I am going to now take a little bit of this sort of shimmery burgundy shade. It's called Hot Chocolate. See how pigmented this one is. Not at all. Okay. I mean, I know I did say earlier that sometimes a sheer shadow isn't a bad thing, so I guess I still stand by that. But I just thought this darker color would be more pigmented. Then I'm going to blend out the crease using the shade Rock and Rose, which has a little bit of a mauve tone to it. Well, maybe not a mauve tone. This is more of a lilac, a lavender tone. And see how the tape is helping me avoid all of that mess on the sides. Now I'm going to take the tape off gently. So I have that lifted look. And I'm taking that first sort of coppery shimmer and running it along my lower lash lines. It's barely showing up at all. Okay. You know what? I think instead for the lower lash lines, I'm going to use this Fenty Beauty eye pencil in the shade Puppy Eyes. I do want a little bit of definition under here. Now I want to see how the dark brown performs. This shade is called Get This Bread. First I'm going to swatch it dry. It's not too bad. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it. Let's see how it looks on the lid dry. It's showing up, barely, but it's showing up. I think I want to use an angled brush. I'm actually going to wet that too. So I'm just making a slight wing on the outer corner. I wanted to purchase the new liquid eyeliner in brown, but when I asked at Sephora, they said that they didn't have it, that it was launching the following week after these new products, which it turns out is not true. It did launch at the same time. It is available at the store that I purchased these at, but oh well, it's fine. I think this brown shadow has worked really well as an eyeliner. All right, I went ahead and applied some mascara, so my eyes are pretty much done. Just blending out a little bit. I don't dislike this look. I just don't think that this eyeshadow palette is anything special as of now. So let's move on to blush. Not a new product, but I do love the Fenty Cheeks Out Freestyle. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Cheeks Out Cream Blush in Petal Poppin'. I'm just going to use my fingers and apply this. It's just a really pretty, naturally blushing shade. I'm putting it a little bit high on my cheekbones to give my face a more lifted look. This is such a pretty color. The lights sort of wash out the makeup a little bit. I'm working on getting some new lighting because I do feel like what I see in person is not what I see on camera. I always end up looking a little bit more washed out, I think, on camera. What do you all think? Should I get some new lighting? I have spoken to a couple of other YouTubers and asked them what lighting they use. And a lot of people are moving away from ring lights and getting something called a Kino Flow light. Something I could look into. Because I think this looks so pretty in person, but I'm looking in my viewfinder and I'm not seeing the beauty. So the eyeshadow palette was a little bit of a letdown, but let's try the highlighting palette. Pretty packaging. It's very lightweight. It feels kind of cheap. You've got Fussy, Fenty Glow, and Hot Chocolate. They're very sparkly. I don't know how this is going to work on my mature skin, but we'll see. I think I'm going to try the Fussy. Oh yeah, that is like straight up sparkle. It's pretty though, but it definitely has visible sparkle to it. Some people might like that. I'm going to try a little bit of the Fenty Glow too. I think it looks pretty on camera, but the texture that I'm seeing and the sparkle, again, this could be someone's favorite type of highlighter. It's just not my favorite type of highlighter. All right, so both of those were sort of a bummer. Remember I said at the beginning of the video that I am not on Fenty's PR? Well, this isn't getting me on the list, I can tell you that much. But as you know, I've always got to be honest with you. I'm always going to give you my honest opinions on products, and I'm just not wowed by that. But all we have left now is lips. So where is the lip gloss? Oh, right in front of me. So I think what I'll do is I'll try it alone first. I highly doubt that I'm going to like this on its own. I'm usually that girl that applies a lipstick, a lip liner, and a gloss. But since I've never tried this formula before, this heat formula, I do want to see how it feels on my bare lips. The color is just like Fussy, except it doesn't have the shimmer. It does look pretty on its own for just a natural everyday look. Okay, I'm gonna sit here for a couple moments and see what happens. You know what I'll do? I've got some velour lashes that I am going to pop on, and then I will come back and maybe we'll do a different lip. The lashes I used are called Short and Sweet. This is some footage of the lip gloss in natural light. I could definitely feel the tingling more as the lip gloss sat on my lips, and I actually think they do look a little bit plumper. Then I wanted to see if I could still feel that tingle and have that plumping effect over another lip product. So what I'm currently wearing is the Fenty Stunna Lip Paint and Unbutton with the Fussy Heat Gloss on top. And I can definitely still feel a little bit of the tingle. I think my lips do look plumper, especially with the added lip liner. I did overline slightly. This is the MAC Strip Down Pencil. And I really like this entire look. Would I use these exact products again to achieve this look? Probably not. I would definitely use the under eye brightener. I think that's great. I will continue to use the Eavesdrop Skin Tint. I've been using, as I said, this contour matchstick for years. I love the bronzer. I love the cream blush. The eye pencil is just okay. I used, once again, Puppy Eyes. The eyeshadow palette was not great. The Diamond Bomb Triple Drip Highlighting Palette, I think it looks nice, but I'm not, you know, wowed by it. I'm not going to tell you this is a definite must-have, especially if you are in my age demographic and you really don't like a lot of sort of sparkle on the face. So I would say of the new products that I purchased, I would definitely give the gloss a try. And this, while not a new product, was new to me, and I think it's fantastic. This Universal Invisimatte Blotting Powder. I think my skin looks pretty good using these two. And what else? Am I missing anything? I don't think so. If you have any questions at all, please leave them for me in the comments. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. And if you're not already subscribed, I would also appreciate you hitting that subscribe button and joining the Risa Does Makeup family. I do try to upload new content at least twice per week. You can also find more content from me on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. The username is the same everywhere. It's all just Risa Does Makeup. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you again very soon.